And let me buy it.
It's better. Mucho better.
I can't say that I can't say I was gonna run the outline, but then Dee and I had a big argument about like the Unix and all that crap, so I just said, well, I think she's failed already. She said she never understood it, and she, anyway.
You with your sister?
Yeah, well, right now I'm sitting at the botanical gardens by myself. Not because she hates me or anything. I mean, she's okay, but it was like a sister fight, And
Yeah, right.
It brought in all this stuff.
Did you
Did
you start out by asking her to get a signal and then she struggled with you? Is that what happened?
Well, she said she never got a signal, and she doesn't understand it. She doesn't like to dwell on the past. She just wants to have fun. Blah blah blah, and she didn't know any she just says EFT and some other things that she knows.
So you mean she wouldn't? What you're saying is she wouldn't try to get a signal? Is that what?
Well, I could try again, but she just really she was like fighting with me about it. I don't know.
It's always difficult with the family. I know something about it. Anyway.
Well, I would suggest that you just try to stick to, you test things yourself and, in front of her.
Well, she didn't she didn't like, she came back a little earlier during my one session, and she didn't like me talking about the past and bringing up stuff about the asthma and all that stuff. She said she didn't believe in dwelling on the past.
Of course, she...
Since she can't cure anything, she's probably right to not want to dwell in the past.
Well, that's what dwelling on the past is. It's traumatic, and you know this. You're not dwelling on it. You're clearing it up.
That's a big difference.
You can't change the actual facts, but you.
Well, the most successful interaction I've had is with Jill, because Jill asked me to show her. So, but she said it didn't work. So then she went back to EFT.
You mean she couldn't Jill couldn't get a signal?
Jill could get a signal fine. She just tried it to cure a cold, and she said it didn't work. So she said, I have EFT, I'll just use that.
Which didn't work either, right?
I don't know, because I told her, you're going to do that, right? She said, yes, but I don't know if she actually did. I don't know if they know to use the stuff to cure things. I think they just kind of dabble in it,
Yeah, right.
People have a disease which is called not curing it. And when they do something, even get a signal, they go into this disease, I'm not curing it. Therefore, but it's a mental, it's in various bodies. And they just say...
Is this a belief, Greg?
Is this my belief?
No, is this a belief when they do that?
Test that.
Okay, is this a belief?
Yeah,
I guess yes.
I mean, it's a symptom. Like, I just can't do it, and I'm in this state of not curing or not being connected.
Yeah.
So try some protocol when they actually have to cure that thing.
Well, I mean, she brought the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was trying to do this exercise for a magazine, and she was saying I was doing it wrong, and I should push myself to do more exercise, otherwise I'll never lose weight. And I got mad. I said, I'll just do this another time. And then she was going on, and somehow it got around to Munich. I don't really know exactly how, whether she brought it up or I did, but she just was so, and she didn't like saying sessions at all. She said, I don't like hearing you talk about stuff that's over and done with in the past, and not to go back and dwell on it and blah blah blah. So.
Well, then she's doomed to the past.
Well, I mean, her family members have problems, but they try to change their behavior, but they haven't really gotten to the root cause, which is probably from their childhood.
So, but how are you? It seems like, are you affected by this?
Well, that day I had my session with this fellow, so I kind of cleared it, but it really kind of, it was like I got kicked in the.
I'm tired. I'm at the airport.
I told her like I don't, she's just like.
Are you going to the cookie store to do it with Barb?
I don't do that.
Okay, I'll let Barb know we're on now. So just you're hooked up.
Great clothing, and with all the wrong
Okay.
colors and everything. She said, "Well, I just wear this one here."
Oh my God.
I don't care whether people see me, but when I'm home, I dress up. And I said, "Well, gee, okay." I guess we don't count. And I said, "I'm home and I'm comfortable too." So
Hey guys, would you excuse? Hello, could I break in here?
Yeah, sure.
I just spoke to Anna, and she's. Hey, Barb.
Yeah.
Anna's coming to you to do this meeting, so she's driving towards you now. That's what's happening.
Ooh.
So I just spoke to her. She just dropped Henry off at the airport. Okay, just so we all know what's going on.
Thanks for the warning.
Anna's going to be here. Now, Franny, I'd like you and Ross to start out by doing the outline. Ross, Ross, you're going to be Franny.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? But by the way, maybe we should try this in a little differently. Let's do it with Greg and Ross. Greg, you're pretty free now, so you don't have anybody else to hook up. You don't have to think about anything else. So you're going to be Ross. Greg, you're going to be Ross, and Ross is going to be somebody that she makes up. Okay?
Okay, I am Annalisa.
Annalise?
Annalisa.
And
with an M, Annalise, or Anna with an N?
Anna. Annalisa.
Annalisa.
Okay, and I want you to.
You can do that because you speak wonderful Italian, Greg.
She's a wonder.
I want you to start by doing part 1. Okay?
Okay.
Si.
Okay.
All right.
Annalisa. Hello.
Hello.
You're speaking in English today. You're practicing English.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi to you.
Oh, yeah. Did you call me or did I call you? I don't remember now.
You called me because I left a message on your answering machine, and you're answering my message. I'm in need of house.
Yes. Let's start right in and do something here.
Okay?
Say this, can I cure things? And you look for
Anna?
a signal, an involuntary signal, perhaps like for one of your hands, like a twitch or something.
Okay.
Can I cure things?
Barb knows you're
Can I
coming.
cure things?
She's expecting you at the cookie store.
I get a finger twitching
Okay.
Good.
in my left hand. Oh my God, it's strange.
I'm sorry?
It never happened to me.
Well, that's good. When you did that, did something change in you? Do you feel any different?
Yes, I feel different. I feel really in my skin and really relaxed. It's like magic.
Wow.
It's
Yes.
wonderful.
Well, that's great. That's a very strong, clear signal.
Can we do it again? I love it.
Let's test some other things.
Yes.
Just, can I kill a virus?
Can I kill a virus? Oh, yes. Yes. My finger is twitching again. And I feel very hot.
Hot, huh? Now we'll continue on about viruses. We'll see more about this perhaps. I am now killing all viruses in all my bodies.
I'm now killing all viruses in all my bodies. Yes, yes, it's twitching again. And I'm feeling even hotter.
Ah. So,
And you know what? I also feel a little dizzy.
Okay, now is that okay? Is that a good feeling or a bad feeling?
No, it's a good feeling. I like it.
Good. Now this is what I call testing. We call testing. So I just use that word now and then. I say test this. So
Okay.
test this as you were just doing. Are all my bodies free of viruses?
Are all my bodies free of viruses? Yes, it's twitching again. And I feel even better than before.
Great. Now test, have I cured anything since I started doing this a few minutes ago?
Have I cured anything since I started doing this a few minutes ago? Oh, I get an immediate yes.
Wow. So
And
how
a
do you,
feeling of total relaxation and sort of a joyful feeling.
so when you say relaxation, what else is gone? What else has changed?
It's like a weight has lifted from my shoulder and also from my stomach. I feel lighter.
Great. And so now you are. You said something a minute ago, but I don't quite remember what it was because I was peering intently at this situation here. You said, how are you now? Can you do? Or what do you have now that you didn't have before?
I can cure.
You can cure. So that's very clear to you.
Yeah.
That's great. I've got a phone ringing here. I just have to turn off
Okay.
the sound so it doesn't interfere here. Now I'm following a little outline here, so I'm just going to check the outline, make sure I include everything
Okay.
that's good to include.
Sure.
Well, you know, this is a cult. You know what cult means? Yeah. They're just
yes.
a handful of us around the world, actually. Who knows, there could be thousands.
Cut. I'm cutting this like sort of temporarily. I'm not
Sure.
really like wanting to end it completely because I love what you're doing, and you did miss a couple of things which I've missed also at various times. And one of them is, I'm not sure whether you missed it or not. Did you tell her that she had a strong God connection?
I did not say God connection. I did say that she had a strong signal, and this is good, that she
Yeah.
really... but
No, you
I
really
said-
want to say it in, it's because it's a signal. When they have a strong signal, that's a signal that they have a strong God connection.
Let's put that in the outline then.
Well, actually, I think it is. Let me just check.
It just...
Whoops, no call. Whoops. Yeah, I started the video, so now go back to the role. Go back to the role play. Anna and Ross. Greg and Ross.
Anna Lisa, you are so wonderful. I love that you can do this, and this is my life. So I'm so glad that you are doing this.
Well, thank you very much.
I
I'm
think
glad.
we have a very strong connection with each other too.
Yes, I think so. You're reading my mind.
You know what we're just doing there? People use that to cure cancer. They cure cancer doing that and other medically curable diseases.
Wow, cancer.
Now,
Well,
test,
figures, because if you can cure, you can cure.
yeah.
Sure.
So test this now. What I just did, is that real, or was that just something else?
Oh, yes, it's real.
Great. Hey, cut, Roselle. Hi, Anna.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
Hi, we've been looking forward to seeing you. Byron says that you spoke and you're on your way.
Yes.
You get situated. We're doing a role play here. We'll go back to that, yes? Ross,
Okay.
go back to our role play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's real.
Yes.
You see, we're a cult. We're a bunch of people who know, or at least we think we can cure cancer. People have cured cancer. They're just a handful of us who really work together intently around the world. And of course, the thousands of people who have come to their website. You know, we have an online web college.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I
So-
found the web college.
People
All right,
come
cut.
there and some people.
Cut.
That's not in the outline, I know.
Cut. So, tell me, yeah, don't add things to the outline, okay?
Okay.
But tell me how you felt, both of you, being yourself. Like, how did you feel being Ross, Greg? Anna, we were just playing a role. Greg was Ross. Anna? Anna, hello? Anna, can you hear me? You know, I don't think Anna can hear me.
Barb's making noise, so we turned it on mute.
Yeah.
Okay, but can you hear me okay?
Yes.
You can, okay. So Greg was, okay, so Greg, how was it to be Ross?
Ross was a little nervous because it's her friend and she wanted to do it right. But so she was sticking to the outline, and then she thought she had the license, because Byron sometimes just talks more about in a certain situation. She was getting around to, some people come to this website and they do not join the cult, they just don't cure, and some people do. That's what she was getting to.
Okay, Ross, what about you? How are you feeling?
Annalisa was absolutely enthusiastic. She was very happy. She found that she thought that she had found the right thing she had been looking for, and she was very happy.
Good. Good, good, good. Hmm. Alrighty.
Bayard, are you still alive?
Yeah, I'm listening and being, and I'm wondering why you added that thing. Like, why would you put that in there? Why not just continue on with the outline? Was there something wrong with the outline? Did it feel inappropriate?
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with the outline.
Did you have some kind of red flag go up?
There was nothing that really led me. It was just a glitch in my thinking that I didn't stick to the outline.
But was there something that told you that you weren't going to win with it,
I was expanding on the tiny handful of people. I said we're a bunch of crazies. The tiny handful of people who are in the cult, and then to me that meant, well, they're like, it's relative. There are thousands of people who have actually, probably 1,000 people who have actually done Immunix. And so I was just expanding on that one thing, tiny handful. And others people right now, how many people are actually actively doing it? Who knows? People come to the website, we don't hear about them. People, we hear about years later that they cured something.
Yeah.
But regardless, then I would get back to when
Well,
you're
it's sort
curing
of like
something,
Anna,
you're-
isn't it? Like, Anna comes to us and she says, I met you 20 years ago and got signals.
Yeah.
Right? So, Anna, can I speak with you now? Are you settled in and ready to talk with me? Can Barb avoid background noises if at all possible?
Yes.
Is that doable? Okay. Well, So, you know, one thing that Barb might be able to do that would help is just if she's talking to people, just move down the counter or something a little bit further away, so that we're
I
not.
can move this, maybe. Why don't I move the computer?
Sure, you could do that too, whatever. So that it's just a little further away from the area of action,
Right.
at a more relaxed kind of place, quieter.
I'll just come over here. There, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we've had a few glitches in the meeting, you know, with equipment failure and everything. One reason I told you you could come a little late is because I had a feeling that, you know, Skype might act up, and then that had cost us 20 minutes, which it probably cost us 10 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Totally unavoidable. It's just weird shit happens. Okay. How are you different today since you were since like several weeks ago when we started doing this together? What is it, about 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I'm freer, like more. I can give you an example.
Oh, good.
This morning. So I spent a few days with this friend of mine, Henry. That I
Your
mentioned
boyfriend.
to.
Come on. Come on.
Well,
He's your
I don't
boyfriend.
say that. So he's
Come
my
on.
friend. And he said something the other day or yesterday about how when he and his wife were getting divorced, he told her that if she was going to press for alimony, that he was going to disappear and be gone for years until their son, you know, and not see their son, who was like 14 at the time. for
Yeah,
years.
right.
And he was going to leave the country. And it really upset me. It bothered me that someone would do that to their child.
Right.
But I never said anything. I never said anything at the time. So then, that would be my normal way of being, is just to never mention it again, but hold it in and hold it against them, think of that person, you know. And so this morning, on the way down from Santa Fe, I said, you know, I need to talk to you about something that was bothering me. And I told him how I felt about that whole conversation. And we ended up having this really beautiful conversation about parenting, about all of those things that are wrapped into that. And it was so easy. I just felt so free to express how I really felt. And I would never have done that before.
Great.
Wow.
I think I cured some fear.
That's a major cure.
I think it has to do with my mother thing that I cured, and this curing this relationship with toxic people.
And how did he come out of that?
How did he come out of it?
Yeah, you know, you confronted him with this thing he did, and how did he come out of that? How did he show himself?
He was great. He was very thoughtful. He said he really understood what I was saying, and that his relationship with his son now, this has been several years ago, is so much better than it ever was before. And he didn't even know how important it was to be that. He didn't know how to be a father to his son before. So we had a great conversation around parenting, and I don't think that conversation would have happened had I not brought that up to him.
So he believes that he's gotten better in this area.
Yes, and he was grateful that I was able to talk about that and bring up something that was difficult for me. And so it was it was a conversation that brought us closer together rather than separated us.
And he knows what he did was wrong, right?
Yes. very much.
He wouldn't do that kind of thing now if left to it.
No. And I don't think he really saw it that way, though, until we talked about it. Because when he told me the story, he was kind of proud of himself for sticking to guns, you know, and holding a position. And I said, "Do you
So
realize what that position?"
so you think until today, he felt good about what he did. Now he realizes that it's not so good, right?
Yeah, I think he realized. I asked him. I said, "Do you realize what the cost of that position would have been to you and to your son?"
Wow.
And he got it. He really got it. So it was really wonderful. It was great for me because I honestly would never have done that before. I would have held it against him for a really long time, but he never would have known.
Okay. Your picture is frozen. Do you think that's because of where you moved the computer to?
Uh-huh. It doesn't appear frozen to me.
Greg, does her picture appear frozen to you?
It's frozen to me. And so if you run your cursor at the bottom of the screen, you see these icons. And there's one that's a camera. There it is. I think you just hit it again.
Uh-huh. Can you see me now?
It's coming, I believe. It's coming back.
It looks like it's
Okay.
starting to come. Okay, I want to play this. Do you think that you
No,
moved the
it's
computer?
not. It's-
Anna, do you think you moved the computer into a place where there's a weak connection?
No. I think it's coming back. There.
All right, because it's all I see. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
there we are. Now it's back.
Yeah, it's that.
That's good.
Lower the camera a bit. All right, let's go back to.
That's good. I think it's good.
I want you to tell everybody what I told you when we first met in 1994.
Wow. That long ago, eh?
Well, I was with my ex-husband at the time, and you were telling us what you felt our role on Earth was, or our mission, or however you want to state it. And you told him that his was to make things beautiful, and you told me that mine was to zap people. Shock, kind of like,
Shock and
I
all.
don't know.
Well,
Shake him up.
it looks like I freed you up a little bit in the past few weeks, so you zapped Henry.
I did.
Good for you. Because, you know, this really isn't about holding this against Henry. Henry would have been somebody that you should never be with if he actually stuck to that position.
All right, and I told him that. I said okay. I told him that if I had met him and he told me that he hasn't talked to his son for 3 years because his wife wanted alimony, I would have said, well, thank you for telling me that. Bye. I would
Yeah,
never
right.
even-
That's right, and I think you're very smart to do that. I think your connection is weaker than it was where the camera was before when Barb was talking, because she had no freezing at all. And now you're starting to freeze every minute or two. You're frozen for a second, and then you... So maybe you could move over just a little, move the thing over
There's
just a...
nobody here now, so we can move back.
That's good.
All right. So let's go back to Buffy, okay?
Okay.
Now, do you have a mental picture of what Buffy looks like?
Stop that verb, sorry.
You know, Buffy is the woman we were playing the role about last
Oh,
week.
right, okay. Thank you. Sorry. Yes, I do, yes.
What does she look like? Describe her.
Buffy is blonde with kind of, voluptuous, kind of a little, very pretty.
How tall is
blonde.
How tall is she?
She's about 5'8". She's tall.
5'8", okay. You know what? I have the exact picture of her that you just described. I had it last week. As soon as you told me about her,
Really?
I could picture her too. It's absolutely interesting. We're really on the same wavelength.
Wow.
Now, I just want to add something that Buffy has a smartphone and she knows how to use it, and she's on Twitter and she knows how to use Skype and all this stuff. So she's good with the computer, okay?
Yes.
So, why don't we start where Buffy saw this sign outside the Cure Cafe sign outside of your place, okay? It's like this paper sign taped to the thing that says Cure Cafe, walk out Cure, and she comes in to ask about this. I want to do it over, like it's a do-over, this thing. We're going to start from the beginning. I'm behind the counter.
Okay.
And, you know, she comes in and and also she wants a cup of coffee, you know, and she comes in and she wants to know about she wants coffee and she wants to know about the cure. So she walks up to the counter and you say hi.
Okay. Hi.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, can I try to sample a cookie? Ooh.
Please.
Mmm.
You want some? You want a coffee or something?
I would love some coffee.
All right, here I'll get
How
you.
about a latte?
Okay, you want a latte? Okay. I'll get you your latte. Here, have another cookie sample.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh. Food is so good.
You know, it just blows my mind. People tell me this all the time, and it never fails to knock my socks off when somebody tells me how much they love these things. You know? I mean, I want you to know, like, I put my heart and soul into baking those cookies.
I can tell. I can really tell.
I know. A lot of people can tell that
This is so cute.
it's like really important to me.
Are you there?
Well, I'm sure that you'll be coming back many times. It's nice to meet a fellow cooking lover.
What is the cure thing? I don't understand that. What does that mean?
Oh, okay. Now, I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to ask a question and look for a signal. Now, this is what my signal looks like. It's this little, like, finger thing. You see it? And you're going to...
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what yours is going to be like, but look for an involuntary something in one of your fingers and ask, can I cure things about yourself, okay?
Okay. All right. So I'm asking myself if I can cure things in myself, right?
Sure. It's just a question, can I cure things? See if you get something in your finger.
Can I cure things? Yeah, I got a little twitch in my fingers.
Okay. So that's your...
Is that what it was?
That's it. That's your signal.
It's very cool.
We call that a signal. Now, did the way you feel just change slightly, or any at all, when you got that signal?
Yeah.
How did it change?
It did. I feel like new information. Like I didn't know I could do that before.
Okay. So you made a discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. Is there any change in your emotional state?
Makes me happy.
So you feel happy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that's a big change or a little change?
I think it's a big change because it makes me feel kind of like connected to my source, to God, like a God connection.
You know, I was just going to tell you, you know what that change means? It means you have a strong God connection.
Mm-hmm.
See, because the feeling change is a signal. That's also a signal.
This is the best latte I ever had. Thank you.
So it's like the finger is a signal and the feeling is a signal. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got it.
Now you obviously feel, let me ask you something else. Is there a difference in how you are now since you walked in?
Yes. I just feel lighter and happier and more peaceful.
You know, I just had a thought. Do you feel more capable of enjoying that cup of latte right now than you did when you walked in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, that's kind of an interesting thing.
You.
And also, are you sort of like having an experience like, you know what you were saying about how it's the best latte you ever tasted?
Yeah, I was thinking that even like the colors and the light is different.
Yeah, it's like an acid trip, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like.
Yeah, I never had one of those, but I'm guessing it would be like this.
Well, it's like there's you've changed, like the doors of perception opened, you know, like that you are like perceiving things differently. And also, like when you drink that coffee, like do you feel a sense of gratitude that's like different than what you've had in the past?
Yeah.
So like it's not just
I do.
it's not just like it's another cup of okay, it's coffee. I'm having coffee in the morning. It's like you're really grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all this means that you've cured something. These are signals.
So what did I cure? What do you think I cured?
I don't know. Do you have any ideas about? I have absolutely no idea what you might have cured, but maybe something will pop into your head, and you can tell me what it is.
I think I was kind of sad when I came in here, feeling like there's things in my life I can't fix that are sad.
And now you feel like you can fix them.
I feel like I have more possibility to change that than I did before.
So you can fix these things. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I have to tell you, like I am enjoying my experience right here, being with you, is I am really enjoying myself. Like I'm just, like, you know, like do you notice like, have you noticed like this is a cult? Like I'm here in my little world, you know, welcome to my world. You know, you, me, and a little tiny handful of other people around the world have this experience that we're having.
Yeah.
And our families think we're nuts.
I think we're very good. Great. Thank you. I get that. I feel that.
Well, okay.
I want to tell people. I want everyone to get this.
They're not going to get it. I got news for you. I've been telling them for years. Do you know, like there's a lot of people that walk into this cafe, they never ask a thing about curing anything. They get coffee and a biscuit and they're out of here. But you know what? If there was somebody in line right now behind you or standing there and I'd given them their coffee while I was doing this with you, I bet they'd want to do it too and they'd get it.
Yeah.
Like who wouldn't want to feel like you?
I think so.
Who wouldn't want to feel like you feel?
Right, because when they see it in action and they see someone happy, they want that. It's contagious.
That's right. That you know, people ignite each other with this, but by themselves, like when I've just listen. Let me give you a tip, okay? If you want somebody to get into this, don't tell them anything about it. You know, bring them here. Just bring them here. Just tell them you have this. You have a magical place to take them for a cup of coffee and bring them here. Because if you
the
tell
magical cookie store.
the magical cookie store, because if you tell them about it, they won't come for a cup of coffee. They get nuts and they actually avoid it. They're like, oh no, I'm not interested. Oh, you want me to go to that place? Oh no, I'm not interested in that. Don't tell them anything about it. Okay?
I get it.
So let me ask you, the thing that you cured, was it real? It's gone now, but it was real, yeah? So this is not a guided imagery visualization.
Say that again.
This isn't a visualization we're doing.
No, it's something physical. I can feel it.
So it's not your imagination. Okay. Let me just show you something on my smartphone. See this Twitter feed here?
I can't see you. All I see is a image. I don't see you at all.
Cut. You do see me. I'm Anna sitting across the counter from you.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, let's go back.
Oh yeah, I do see that. I see the Twitter. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
It must have been those cookies got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so go on your smartphone right now.
Okay.
Okay, go on your smartphone, sign up for this Twitter feed, and you'll be connected to people in Europe and Australia and like all over the world.
I would love that.
Who do that? Yeah, I'm telling you, like we're a global cult. It's not just the cookie store. Someday, lots of people will open these kinds of coffee houses. This is the only coffee house like it right now, but someday there's going to be a lot of coffee houses like this.
Well, this is great. Thank you so much.
Well, there's a lot more to this.
We're bringing people back here.
Okay, well, I want to do some more with you, okay?
Okay.
There's a lot more to this. Now, let me tell you what we're trying to do. You know how people used to think the world was flat? Well, when you walked in here, you thought people couldn't cure things.
Right.
Like you thought you get cancer and you die, right? Well, now you know different.
Yeah.
What we want everybody in the world to know the world is round. You with me?
Yep.
That's what we're working towards. That's what we're trying to do. Like they may not even want to do it, but at least they know they can, that it's possible. Like we want everybody that you pass in the street to know it's possible to feel the way you feel right now. Now, so I want to ask you for a contribution. Will you contribute something?
Sure.
Okay, I have an idea for something you can contribute. I want to do some of what we were just doing with you. And I want to turn my smartphone on and put you on YouTube doing it. How about that? Okay, we can just wait a moment for the noise to subside.
Yeah, she's...
Okay, go ahead.
You spoke too soon. I want to make a little movie of you doing what you just did on my smartphone and put it on YouTube. How about that?
Okay.
All right. So, all right, I'm filming you now with my smartphone. I'm going to upload this to YouTube in a minute, Buffy. Now, I want you to see if you get a signal on this. Can I kill a virus?
Yes.
Okay. If I get the flu, can I cure it? Can I, if I do enough of this, will I be immune to the flu?
Yes.
Okay. And tell everybody how you feel right now.
Good.
Like,
So great.
more. I want to hear more, how you feel.
I feel really happy and peaceful and excited.
And like that's the best cup of coffee you ever had in your life?
The best cup of coffee I ever had in my life.
And you actually feel real gratitude for the coffee?
Yes.
You feel genuine gratitude for the meager 2 cookie samples I gave you?
Yes, I want more.
Well, I can get you another cookie if you want one.
Okay.
All right, I'm turning the camera off. That was a great movie. And it was a great contribution. And you know what? We use these movies, we put them on YouTube, and this is how people find the Cure Cafe.
Great.
You know, we use the movies to attract people to the Cure Cafe.
That's great. Well, thank you. I'm really excited. I'm happy.
All right, cut. So I don't know if I need to ask what it was like to be Buffy, because you obviously were Buffy was very forthcoming about how she felt. And I will tell you that when I was you, Anna, you were making discoveries by helping this person.
Yeah.
And one of the things, like, you discovered something really important about gratitude during that role play.
Yeah.
And actually,
It's very powerful.
you also discovered something about marketing, which is that real marketing, good marketing, causes gratitude in customers. Great marketing makes customers grateful.
Yeah, it's true.
Because when people are grateful, they will never buy from anybody else. You know, they will come back over and over and over again when they are grateful. It's marketing and it's branding. How do you like shopping at Home Depot?
How do I like it?
You ever shop at Home Depot?
I love Home Depot.
Yeah.
I go there all the time.
Yeah, you love Home Depot because, like, the guy in the electronics department, do you know that, like, he gave me a free solenoid for one of my fans? He said, oh, hey, I think I've got a solenoid back here. He saves them.
Wow.
And he said, listen, you could just, he put a little tag on it so I could take it out of the store. He said, you can just have this.
Wow.
That's how they just exploded because they work with you. You know, and they hire really good people. I went into Lowe's and nobody I talked to knew how to use anything or where anything was, so I never went back. And I just never went anyplace but Home Depot anymore.
Yep. I agree.
So this is you see, the interesting, and also there was something else you were seeing about what you were doing with this woman, which is, like, there are certain, like, you realize that for this person, your cafe was like holy ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had become like a temple for her.
Right. Right.
You know?
It's true.
Yeah, because she associated, like, this is where you go to get the best cup of coffee in the world. Because it was like you put a drug in the food. You know? And if you could, you would, right?
Sure.
You know, if you could drop acid in the coffee and everybody'd say, wow, I'm going back to that place, you know, the colors were really so bright in there, you know, it was wonderful, you know. I just felt, it was so cool, it was, you know. So, that was something interesting. Anyway, Barb and I are going to try this week. and we'll let you know how it goes. You know, well, I promised Barb that I was going to get on the computer with her while she's serving people, so when people ask about it, I'll be there with her.
Great.
You know, and we'll just see if it works as well as when you were Buffy. Buffy, I think, is a very exceptional woman.
She is.
Anyway, Barb is your printer working?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I think it will. I just have to find the right cable for it.
All right. Oh, too bad Franny isn't there. Franny has like boxes of cables.
Yeah. Well, I bought a new cable, but I'm missing the other one, so I'm missing the power one. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh no.
I've got tons of them.
Well, anyway.
I know I have it. I just have to locate it because I've been moving things around too much.
All right. Well, anyway, Barb is going to print those signs, and we'll try them out,
Great.
and we'll see what
You can
happens.
just take it to the printer.
Okay. Well, if you haven't got, you know, maybe you should call Franny and ask some advice later on. Not right now because she's in the botanical garden, but you know, maybe tonight or something you could ask her, because she's real good with solving these problems when you don't have the plug
Right.
thing for your, because that's a bitch if you lose that. Oh my God. Well, okay, it's almost time to stop our meeting, and there's something that I wanted to talk to you about, which is, you know, I actually don't know what it's going to be like to have to do this with Barb, you know, when we do it. I'm trying it. And I know these role plays go really well. I just want to, you know, like have the real thing and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about something, and that led to something else. And I thought you might find it really informative. So I'm going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
In the book that you're reading, Great by Choice, there's a little thing that he says in passing. He says that when Steve Jobs came up with the iPod, he actually didn't expect it to be very successful. He saw it as sort of this ancillary kind of side product that would have its own niche market, you know, just another thing to add to his, you know, arsenal.
Right.
Like he never realized what was going to happen with it. And that led me to thinking about Jared. You know the story of Jared? You know who Jared is? You know what, Subway?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you know the story of Jared, like how that all got started?
I think so.
What is it you know? Just tell me what you already know.
That's the one that's on Facebook, right? The story on Facebook.
I haven't seen it on Facebook, so I don't know.
Okay, then I'm thinking of something else. So I'm sorry.
All right. Well, you know, Subway had these commercials where this really fat guy lost like 300 pounds eating Subway sandwiches. That guy.
Yeah.
You remember him, right?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you how he got started, because it's an interesting story. And also it's relevant to you. See, you know, people keep telling you to do things to change your coffee shop. And when you're reading this book, and the reason I thought that it was so important for you to read this book, you know, this Great by Choice book, is because you remember what they said about innovation in the book?
I remember the conversation about it, but not what in particular.
Well, with innovation, what they said is that the really successful companies innovated less than
I do. I remember that.
They were just they may have had a lot of good ideas, but they didn't use them. They were very careful to select. You know, it was like, you know, creative change, but basically they had a formula and they stuck to it.
Right.
And see, you have a formula. See, you already have a smack formula for a coffee shop. And I happen to think that it's terrific, and I really like it. And I'll tell you why I feel that way. Because I keep seeing these things that Barb puts up on Facebook. You know, their pictures of her, like, standing there holding this tray of lavender cookies. You know that one? Did you see that one?
Yeah.
The lavender cookie one? And I'm thinking, it just blows my mind. I mean, I feel in my heart like this is an attractive place. This is like world class, you know?
Yeah.
And also I went into Starbucks, and Starbucks is a shithole. I mean, at least the one I went into was, it was like, you know, of course it's in Brandon, so Greg says they're all different. But
they're similar, but some are bigger and smaller. But
it wasn't, you know, it just wasn't.
There's no soul. There's no heart there. It's all sterile and.
Yeah, it's a chain store. You know, it was. Anyway,
it's meant to be like a Holiday Inn of coffee.
So to go back to Jared, okay, what happened with Jared was that Jared was like 400 pounds. And his family were worried sick about him. He was like 22 years old, and he was a heart attack candidate. He was, and it was destroying his body, like it was making his feet flat. And his brother said to him, "Jared, you have to lose weight. Like, we're really worried about you." They were going to send him for an operation or something. You know, they were just scared to death. And you know, because his heart was working too much. And so this guy, he liked Subway, and he decided that he was gonna, like, you know how Subway posts their, you know, the calories in the sandwiches? Well, he was reading those signs, and he said, you know, I bet I could lose weight eating these things, and he liked them. So he didn't eat anything else but Subway. He went to Subway for 3 meals a day.
Wow.
And after he'd lost 150 pounds, and this was in some town somewhere in the middle of nowhere, the manager of the store wrote to the company, and he said, there's this guy coming in here, and he's lost 150 pounds, and there's something here, there's something going on here that's really important. They ignored him. They didn't even write back to him. They weren't interested. And he kept writing and writing. He wrote the head of marketing, and he wrote vice presidents. He kept writing these letters. He's lost 200 pounds. He's lost 225 pounds. And finally, some of them started getting interested, and they ran it past their legal department, and they said to the legal department, well, can you, you know, like, what do you think? Maybe we could make a commercial, you know, just to see what happens. And the legal department said, absolutely not. You can't turn this into a commercial. You will be practicing medicine without a license. You'll be giving medical advice, saying that Subway is a medical cure for obesity. Okay? So that's what legal departments do. And finally, the guy found who the advertising agency was. And he wrote the head of the advertising agency. And this was the only guy. Remember when I was saying you were weak in marketing? Well, see, I think that you have marketing genius. Like you were telling me about the ad you wrote, and it blew my mind, you know? Like you're a genius with marketing, and the problem is that you can be a genius with marketing and still be weak in marketing.
Right.
And maybe everybody's weak in marketing, including the heads of the greatest advertising agencies. Yeah. But anyway, the head of this particular advertising, see, because all of these executives at Subway, not a one of them was really with it as far as marketing went. But the head of the advertising agency, he called the president of the company, said, we have to make a commercial of this. We absolutely have to. And the company president said, no, you can't do it. We're not going to pay for it. The legal department already nixed it. Forget it. And you know what he did? He went there himself and he went into the store. The head of the advertising agency flew to this little town somewhere in Texas, I think it was, and I think it was in Austin where the college was. And he goes into the store and he says to the, guy, it's just some guy here lost a lot of weight, and he says, "Oh, you mean Jared? Yeah, he should be in shortly," And a few minutes later, Jared walked in, and this guy talked to him for a while and signed him, and the head of the advertising agency paid for the commercial himself. It was the only time he had ever done anything like that. The company always pays. He never paid for a commercial.
Right.
He paid to produce the commercial. And he insisted that they run it, and they ran it once, and it got on CNN.
Wow.
CNN picked it up, and they put it, for free. They actually ran it as a news story. They ran his commercial as a news story, and the next day, Oprah Winfrey called him. And that was the story of Jared. And nobody ever got their commercial run for free on Oprah but Jared. But she just went nuts over him. And so they created, it made Subway. It put Subway on the map.
That's a great story.
It is, and the idea is that it can be just so hard to see what is going to really be the thing that puts you over the top. Because how you were saying, people are telling you to serve sandwiches?
Yeah.
And not to do that, right?
Right.
because that's not the formula.
Right.
It would be this enormous change. You see, if you produce lavender cookies, and let's say that's a new product, that's not an enormous innovation. It's not a big change. It's just, that's a bullet. See, you can see how they go. But if you start serving sandwiches, forget it. You're in a new business. And you see,
exactly.
You see, the Cure Cafe thing is it's actually like serving sandwiches.
Right.
Like it's so different, and so that's why I'm just, I'm not trying to tell you that you should, change over to being a Cure Cafe. But what I do think is that it could be tried for cheap, by putting a little paper sign up and let's see what happens. And then we could sort of watch it and see if it looks like it has potential. That's how they do innovation. They're very careful. Like when Jobs came out with the iPod, he didn't commit everything to it. He just released it, and they saw. Do you know the iPod was $800 when they released it?
Really?
Yeah, it was $800.
Wow.
I remember when it came out. And there were people who bought it, and they were just they had money, they loved music, and they were just, they were just the kind of people who buy a thing for $800 like that. And as soon as
then they started buying the Mac Mini so that they could download the music, because you couldn't really do it on the PC that way.
Well, once they bought it, once those people bought it, everybody wanted it. Because they were the otaku.
You have those big rainstorms?
And
We did have that.
do you find it hard to concentrate on this?
No.
I know I'm dropping a lot on you, and you're in the middle of a coffee shop.
It's okay.
All right. Well,
I'm just also thinking of my customers, and I want them to try something.
well, I'll tell you what. I think this is probably good for our meeting. So we're all going to say goodbye now. Is there anything anybody else wants to say? Barb, you want to say anything?
Cheers.
No. Bye. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't say we don't say cheers. We say cures.
Cheers.
Yes,
Cheers.
wonderful.
I'm connecting my celestial body with everybody's.
Thank you very much.
Righty.
See you later.